Hello, my darling. How are you? Hi, Robin Arwen. Hi, Greta. Hi, Bonnie Russell. Hi, Uncover News. Okay. Sorry, just doing a wee bit of tidying here. The desk is getting a little bit chaotic, as is the surrounding area. And the kitchen's getting to the stage where I'm going to have to do something about it today. And that's like, yeek. So, I've just been watching a bit of the news feed, but has anyone got any update on what happened in that meeting with Marjorie Taylor Greene, the caucus, or that meeting? And there's lots of yelling and screaming, and Liz Cheney saying, I'm not backing down. So, Uncover the News. You got anything new on that? Yeah, Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, JP Richardson, pilot. Yeah. JP Richardson, for those who don't know, he was the big bopper, was it? Was that correct? So 3 shining lights of the American music industry were killed in that plane crash, as well as some other people as well. So, and the pilot, yeah. Hi, Catherine Stubbs. Not quite as together as I like to be. Never am I? The charged insurrectionist involved in the Capitol coup. Wow. Oh, the DOJ, yeah. I was thinking more about that GOP conference that's going on at the moment. I'd love it if Liz Cheney put up a vote to replace Kevin McCarthy as House Minority Leader. That would be cool. I think she'd do an awesome job. I'm not a big conservative person, but I think that if the party's to be saved in any way, they need people like Liz Cheney to step forward. And that, so, and she's 3rd in the leadership role. I think she should put her hand up to take over from McCarthy. Okay. If I'm not together, it makes you feel better. Hi, Valerie Hyde. Hi, Wendy Kay. Yeah, the big bopper. Yeah. Oh, my God. You're kidding. She doesn't mean any of it. Oh. This is going to push the Democrats to take a stand they really don't want to because of the precedents it sets. But, oh well. I think that's a lot of the reasons why the Democrats aren't more aggressive, because they'd be setting precedents that they don't want to set. They'd rather be able to blame the GOP for that sort of shit. But, Hi, Amy Smith. Okay. Now, hello to all my new subscribers. My subscribers have gone up a couple of hundred in the last couple of weeks. Thank you for Sheila for that, for including me in some videos and stuff, and that's big thanks to that as well. And hello to all my new subscribers. Thank you for following me over after seeing me. I've got a few comments, you know, that they saw me on Sheila's weekly view thing. And thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay. Hi, J Cat Lady. So I really haven't prepared any questions at the moment, but James is just in the background cooking his breakfast if you're hearing some sizzling noises. One of the advantages of this new arrangement is he can actually come out and eat. A lot of buffering. Okay. I usually have another screen up with another channel under my full name that I watch most of my YouTube on. You know, I'm not seeing any buffering on that, so yeah, it might just be at your end. Not sure. Anyone else getting buffering? What's for brekkie? Usually has bacon and eggs. Yeah. Hi, Linda B. How you going, darling? Hi, Laura Cowan. I hope you start to feel better. Really do. Hope that you're starting to feel better. Hello, Aria Song. Hi, Michael Dower. Shari H. Yep. Okay. Well, I think what we might do is have a look at the next few days for the Biden administration. First, hi, Moonchild. So we'll get stuck in it and we'll have a look at the next few days for the Biden administration between now and Monday. The date on Monday, so it's Thursday for 5th, 6th, 7th. So Monday is the 8th when the Senate trial is supposed to start. So, oh, it's good that you were able to eat, but that's good. Stimulus checks. What's happening with stimulus checks? Well, the White House has come out and said that they're hoping to have the bill passed by March 14th, which is when Social Security payments are due to stop. Hi, Sandra Henderson. And everyone else send out positive energy to Linda B and anyone else who you know who have someone in their family fighting this virus. Yeah. The Proud Boys. I'll have a look at the Proud Boys. Proud Boys. I know they're on terrorist list now. They weren't. I think they might have been in the US previously, but this is what happens when you support an insurrection. Future. Hi, Joji. Hi, Beatrice Harrison. Hi, Sharon Stipe. Uncover the News is going to help keep up to date with the Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, look, thank you so much, Uncover the News. Kristen, I think. Okay, so, yeah. Hi, Patricia Ray. Patricia Ray. Well, Mitch McConnell, because there's such, it's basically it's a tied Senate, and the only reason the Democrats can get anything through would be using the nuclear option. So with Harris as a tiebreaker, the preferable option is to get 60 votes. So McConnell has strong sway in the Senate because without having to go to the tiebreaker option on the reconciliation option and you get the 60 votes, they have to get 60 Republican votes. So that's why he still has such a strong sway in the Senate. Geez, I don't know how your tax system works, Joji, so you're better off I would say you'd be best off either to see if they have a helpline or talk to and if you have an accountant, but you know, yeah. No family members working at the White House. Oh yeah, DeJoy. What's happening with DeJoy? What are they going to do with DeJoy? Hi, Patricia Ray. So DeJoy, we'll look at DeJoy. Lindsey Graham. Oh my God, that man just gets worse and worse and worse. How much longer has he got? How much longer is he going to last? Now he's defending Taylor Greene, saying people probably manipulated her posts and all that. It's just bloody ridiculous, isn't it? You're going to last. Yeah, DeJoy, yep, I've got him on the list. Going to the post office. Because it's sort of like, I don't know what they can do about him, but yeah. Stimulus checks. Oh, yeah. Well, gee, Trump test probably. Okay, we'll go on with that. I'm just going to, before we start on that, I'm just going to check one thing. Okay. Hi, Alexis Curie. Alexis Navalny. That's a good question, Alexis. I'm just going to check the stimulus. Detail. Okay, what's inside? That is from Biden. Okay. I'm just going to answer one question. Okay, it looks like it's just one stimulus check. But it also wants to have a $400 a week supplement, unemployment supplement. Hi, Sandra Henderson. So the $1,400 stimulus check would be a one-off by the looks of it, so that the $600 payment you got expanded up to $2,000. Yeah, one-time checks. So those $1,400 checks would be one-time checks, and so that's yeah. What I'll do is I'll in the comment here, I'm just putting a post, which is a link to a New York Times thing that says, that has the details for the there you go. There's a link I've just put in there, and that'll give you more details on the stimulus package. So it's a one-time check, the $1,400 one, but it's got more about unemployment and stuff like that. So there you go. Now let's get into reading. Just I've been asked that question a couple of times, whether it be one off or, and that's sort of a question that can be answered by having a look at things. So I put that link there, and you can copy and paste it if you want, and it'll take you to an article that has more detail about that stimulus package. So yeah, things about the tax and all that, I can't answer that because I don't know anything about your system. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, what's the Biden? What's the next few days for the Biden administration over the next 4 odd days, what's in store for them. So we'll do a cross on what the next few days has to bring on the Biden administration. I'm going to open up with what's happening within the administration, the new administration every time now, and then we can move on, because I do want to look at what's happening to all the major players and how things are, and how things are going to play out with the bad guys and all that. But I also want to look forward. Okay, this is interesting. They're actually strengthening their position. So that's a good card to have first up for how the administration is going on with. The challenge is to not step backwards, is to not go backwards and make mistakes from the past. The challenge is to not repeat mistakes from the past. And I'm not talking about the past administration. I'm talking about mistakes that were made in previous Democratic administration, the Obama one. The Obama administration got quite a lot wrong as well, and the Clinton administration did, and even the Bush administration. And of course, the challenge is also to wipe away some of the things from some of the damage from past actions. So the challenge is to clear up some of the damage that Trump did, but also not to make mistakes that past administrations have made, to avoid those. What's at the base of this reading? The world, yes. They are looking at the moment, one of their focuses at the moment, not their only focus, but other focus, is in healing relationships with the rest of the world, which is, with the rejoining WHO, the Paris Climate Accord, talking to world leaders. I noticed a comment there earlier that said that he had not spoken to Israel, Netanyahu, or the MBS, the Saudi prince. I think he's leaving those for a while. There's other countries that he's talking to. And I also think that the Iran is one of those countries as well. There's a lot of damage that has to be repaired there. But also re-establishing relationships with other countries. Past actions leading up to there. Yeah, it is still a time of forward momentum, of transitioning. This 100 days, transition 100 days, getting things established. That's one of the biggest other areas of achieving their 100-day agenda and keeping the momentum going along with that. Because they're doing a lot now that traditionally would have been done between November and January, and so they've been put on the back, they're on the back foot because of that. So they've got to continue that, basically continue stuff that should have been done during the transition, like confirmations, cabinet confirmations and things like that. So that they're having to play up catch up as well. Materialism, which is the death card. In this case, this is reversed, which is odd. Oh, there's a few reversals in here, but not many. But so basically a change. Death is a change that stops momentum in the cards. Like, it's a change to qualities and all that stops momentum. And so this is the death card, or materialism. Is that no, that's That's the devil. Sorry, 15's the devil. I'm really sorry. Just got a bit confused there. 15's the devil. Yeah, chained. Ah, well, there you go. The transition is materialism. Yeah, it's death. It's death. Sorry. I've only just started drinking my coffee. Sometimes I do get those two mixed up in this deck, so that's why I double check the number as well. I was wait a minute. That's the wrong number for death. Materialism, the devil, and this is the devil reversed. So this is keeping forward, keeping the healing process going. So this is a large part of what's happening. So yeah, so that's over the reading. This is what's above the reading. The need to keep the healing process going, not just with other countries at the bottom, but also within the US as well. Immediate future. This is the Two of Cups. It's reversed. So there's some deals that are going to be broken. So there's some agreements that I think the Trump administration made. I think they might be learning about some of them. And there's going to be emphasis on saying, oh, hell no, we're not going to be honouring that. That's not going to happen. Hi, Wendy Kay. Hi, Teresa Baltazar. Hi, Crazy Cat Lady Farley. If I haven't said your name, it's just because I haven't seen it there. So once again, yeah, if you're watching and not commenting as well, hi, welcome. Welcome to all my new subscribers as well. I took a bit longer to get started than usual this morning because I wanted to clarify something, so I had to hop on the web. Grandma D, hello. Or Grandma D. Okay, so they're also in the near future. There's going to be a few deals that Trump made that it's going to be like, but we're not necessarily going to hear about those because it's like, I think this could be some trade deals. Now, I think Trump did this huge trade deal with Saudi Arabia. I think that might be this. I'll ask a clarifier on that for military stuff. Okay, what is in the environment for the Biden administration in the next few days? And I'm just talking between now and Monday. This is the sitting pretty card, so this is good. This is gaining control, because in the like the classic deck, you've got the young woman and she has complete control over the bird of prey. So this is finally stepping into a time where they're really gaining a firm firm grasp on control. They're clearing out the mess. So I think in the next few days you're going to see there's going to be quite a lot of people who are out of a job. I know that they're starting that in the Pentagon, and there's going to be some other areas there. So because as it was, those areas which should have been autonomous from Trump were not, because Trump put all his cronies in there. So in the environment, it's resetting the autonomy of a lot of those, such as the Pentagon, such as defense, even the post office. So that's interesting because I'm going to be looking at DeJoy. Resetting the boundaries of autonomy for those areas. All the Trump colonies are going to be out. Yes, yeah. What do people see? Queen of Pentacles. They see someone. Now, the Queen of Pentacles for me is the card of resources. The King is financial resources, stability. Okay, at that full level of stability that's needed. That's the King. The Queen is the process of gathering those resources and you know, and assessing those resources as well. So what people see is an administration who is willing to give every resource and spend every resource they can to get the country back on track with regard to the virus, with regard to climate, with regard to messing with resources, with regard to helping out people on the ground. So that's what people are seeing, an economy, an administration that is willing to do that, to find those resources, spend them, even if it means going in a deficit for a few years. They're willing to do it. Their hopes and fears. Well, the hope for the administration is that in acting in the compassionate, intuitive, but firm way, Queen of Wands, that they're doing the right thing. The fear is that maybe they're heading a bit towards that they might be perceived as being too fiery, trying to impose their will on people who don't want it. But that's not really a big fear. I'm thinking I might split the hopes and fears into two cards in future, so that it would be two cards. But I like the one card, the flip. So now the outcomes for the next few days. So I think they're going to be announcing some big decisions, and the hopes and fears is that they're not going to be, they're going to be received as well thought out, compassionate decisions, and not reactive results of people blowing their stack for some reason. Okay, the outcomes for the next few days for the Biden administration, there's going to be some results of their early efforts are going to start showing. Even though it is early days yet, there's going to be some results coming in. They're still dealing with the level of restriction. So I do feel that that's the stimulus package. Still fighting to get it through the way they want. So there's still some fighting with the stimulus bill. Judgment, but overall they're going to be exercising some very good judgment here, very fair judgment. And also judgment is also a card of wake up. You know, in the traditional right awake, you see people coming up and they're waking up. They're answering the call of the trumpet to wake up. And there's going to be more and more Americans who wake up over the next few days. I don't know what's going to happen, but something's going to happen to wake some more Americans up. There was, I saw a story today with one woman who got drawn really deep into QAnon, and it's a really good, it's on CNN, and it's a really good little story because the guy who's, I think he's a Scottish guy or Irish guy, he works at CNN, and he's been out talking to people all over America. Donald or something, his name. And she tells how she got sucked into the QAnon. And after the inauguration, she panicked and she feared. And then it was like none of these things happened that she feared. And it's like a big wake-up call for her. So I think there's going to be a lot of people who have been living under the spell of these conspiracy theorists and waking up to the fact that Trump lied. And, you know, these things didn't happen. So, because why they're going to be waking up is because they can see what Biden is actually doing. He's not selling your babies overseas. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. You know. And the other outcomes for the next few days is lots of movement, increasing momentum. So increasing momentum in other areas. So a push to increase momentum. There's going to be a bit of a push to get some things done before Monday, I think. So even if they do a, you know, split the day between normal business and impeachment business, it's still, the momentum of getting things done is still going to be slowed down because of it. So I think there's going to be a bit of a push for the administration to get a few things sorted before Monday. So, yeah. So that's the next few days for the Biden administration. Yeah, the little bugger's disappeared, hasn't he? Have they searched Mar-a-Lago? How many of you guys saw that video that AOC posted? Wow, what an amazing video. About what happened when she was during the Capitol siege, and how she equated what she was stealing and everything back to an incident earlier in her life. Very brave young woman, AOC is. So. Maybe they might. Maybe they might. GM Dave, how are you, Dave? Maybe they might take them off to a different world. Okay. Bonnie Russell, you've been hoping for a lightning bolt from God. Well, lightning bolts can come in many different forms. So, yeah. Representative Sanchez has put forward a bill that no federal facilities, parks, anything like that be named after Trump, buildings, anything, and that he also be stripped of all the privileges usually accorded to an ex-president, which includes the pension, Secret Service, all those things that are usually afforded to an ex-president, that he'd be stripped of those. He's just retiring as the CEO. He's taking up a new position. No. He's got his reasons for doing that. Could be to spend more time with his family, you know. So why is Jeff Bezos retiring as CEO of Amazon? Stepping down as CEO. He is going to take up another position. So let's have a look. Why? Guides of the highest truth and compassion. Why is Jeff Bezos stepping down as CEO? The Emperor. Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, now he is taking up another position, I know that. For it's a bit of a mix of reasons. Okay, I can read on what Merrick Garland will do first when he becomes. Yep. Resources. Ace of Wands, Magician. He's got other things he wants to pursue, other ideas he wants to pursue. I think he feels like this other position is going to free up a bit more of his time. He created an empire by thinking outside of the box. And he's been, you know, being the CEO for so long, he hasn't had time to let that side of him dwell and thinking outside the box. But there's been 2 years now where he hasn't been able to do that. I think it's a mix of wanting to spend a little bit more time at home with family. Wanting to, you know, because the company's expanded, it's a worldwide company. He's got new ideas that he wants to explore, maybe even outside of Amazon. There's a lot of everyday detail stuff as a CEO. He's not the best employer in the world, but he's not the worst person in the world either. He's done a lot of good. But yeah, there are some very, very valid criticisms of the man out there. This is the Seven of Cups, choices. He wants the chance to do other things and explore other things as well. So I think it's partly to spend more time with his family, partly to free up some of his time so he can explore other things and some of the other ideas that he's had. So, you know, he's leaving the company in good hands. That's the phrase that just went through my head there, my mind, that he was leaving the company in good hands. So, and he's still going to be part of it, just not so caught up in the everyday, day-to-day stuff. Hi, Melinda Dutra. How are you? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland. What is going to be one of the first things he does? I'll use a different deck here. Merrick Garland. What are Merrick Garland's priorities? What is Merrick Garland going to be concentrating on? What are his top priorities? What's on the bottom of the deck? Two of Cups. New partnerships within the Department of Justice, re-establishing partnerships within the Department of Justice. Okay, Two of Swords. He's got some very critical decisions to make. Plans. Okay, these are two twos. This is about plans, critical decisions, enacting critical decisions, critical things that have to be done, and enacting plans. Hangman. He's going to put a pause to a few things. It's the Hangman. So there's going to be some things that investigations that are going on that are leftover leeches from the Trump administration. There's going to be a pause on a few things, a pause on a few investigations that are going to be reviewed, basically. So he'll be doing a review of the whole situation. Seven of Pentacles. Here it is. Here's the review card. So the critical thing for him to do is review the state of the DOJ and the investigations that are happening at the moment. So that is going to be his first critical priority. So here's the pause card. Here's the review card. And it's a critical review. Three of Wands, Two of Wands. He's got some plans to enact, but he is also, okay, this is the card of consequences. He is also determined that certain people face up to and pay the consequences of their actions. I think this leads to the insurrection. So this was the planning and everything for the insurrection and consequences of that. So that is certainly going to be a priority for him. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, there is, as I said, he's going to put a pause and review on some things as well. review a lot of investigations. It's going to be this is again the apprenticeship card, which I know it has nasty connotations after, you know, Trump. So but I feel he's going to bring in some new people. Of course, he's got his head and his deputies there, but he's also going to bring in some new people. The thing is and also bring some people up. So advance a few people. This is also a card of advancement. As you work your way through your apprenticeship, you advance. You advance. So it's not so much bringing in new people, it's advancing people, bringing some people up through the ranks that perhaps should have been brought up a while ago. So there's going to be a bit of that. 10 of Cups. Going to be a few GOP instigated cases, investigations that are going to be reviewed here. Okay, he is going to the planning consequences death card. He is going to see through that these consequences. Now, the thing about the death card, one of the things with it, it's changes you cannot avoid. So there are going to be people paying for what happened, and they're not going to be able to avoid the consequences. There's going to be changes in their life that they cannot avoid, consequences that they cannot avoid. So, yeah, he is going to be going after the insurrection stuff. Justice, yeah. He is going to set about so 3 big priorities for him are looking at critical decisions, critical investigations that were brought about wrong by the GOP and others, putting a pause on them and reviewing them, getting stuck into the investigations and bringing to justice those people behind the insurrection, and the justice card. Bring a pause in some areas, of course, pausing some investigations, but also pause and review, looking at things, staff, advancing some staff, and re-establishing the DOJ's role in maintaining justice and fairness in the American legal system. Okay, so that's going to be his priorities when he comes in. Hi, Victoria. What is this deck of cards that I'm using? This is it's by Pablo Monti, and it's called the Essential Tarot. So the Essential Tarot by Pablo Monti. Very nice cards, very stylish, very minimalistic. I love Art Deco and Art Nouveau, and it's got elements of both of those, and I really do like this deck very much. So, oh yeah, DeJoy, Proud Boys. So I've got a little list here. So the Proud Boys, what's their future? DeJoy, how much longer is he? Lindsey Graham, how much longer? Will Trump testify? Navalny and Russia. So we'll get onto that list. Okay, first, will Trump testify? Big no went through my head, but we'll Hi, Laura Carlson. An Urban Tarot deck. If you're on my Facebook, I mean, I don't get on there as often as I should, and I've got to start more, doing more with it. But if you are on my Facebook, why don't you post, if you do have decks, why don't you post your favourite deck there? Take a picture of it and post it. And tell me what it is. Okay. Nine of Cups. People want him to testify, but he will lie. He won't, absolutely will not testify. I'm not using this in the yes, no, because if I was using this as yes, no, it would be yes, he'll testify, but no, he won't, because if he testified, it would be blatant. Then again, he might. I mean, if somebody would say to him, if you testified, you would shore up support amongst the Republicans and shore up your power. But the fact of the matter is, if he did that, that's not what would happen. If he testified and so blatantly lied and denied sending those people to the, a lot of people would see the abuse of power, and he'd lose a lot of supporters. There's no way he'd tell the truth. No way. It would be, this is disappointing news, the Page of Swords. It would be very disappointing for a lot of his followers, because I think he knows that if he testified, it would very, very quickly get out of his hands, because he would be hammered, and he'd lose it. He'd just start yelling and abusing to people. Ace of Cups, absolutely lose it and start yelling and abusing people. The judgment of some of the people who have been supporting him would turn against him. The Democrats would love it if he testified. Absolutely love it. This is the Nine of Cups. It would be their greatest dream, because they could tear him apart. And yeah, he'd basically back down to the lowest level. This is the basic apprentice card here with that. It would throw him back down. So, no, he's not going to do that. Yes, Mary's finished. Yeah. Hi, Mary. Hi, Claudia Cooper. There's lots of right-awake-based decks out there, actually. Patricia, Laura Carson. Kevin Stubbs is 49 years old, held together with magic tape. Yeah. This is the oldest deck I have, my traditional Ride Awake, and it's just a few years old now. Bye, Joe G. You have a good night. Now, Proud Boys. What is going to happen with the Proud Boys? I might do a cross on these dudes. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at Sanchez's bill to see what happens with that, whether that will go through. Hi, Ann Rudd. So, the Proud Boys. The Moon. There's still a lot more to come to light about these guys. There's still a lot that's hidden about them. There's a lot about their formation. I'm going to do a 5-card layout that I've used recently. Past, now, best to come, worst to come. What's going to happen? But I'm going to do a couple of lines of so. Using appeal, assessment, judgment. Ooh. Ooh. Wow, I've done 2 lines here. So, first line is the past. There's still a lot that is not known about their formation, including this is the abundance of funding that they've been given, possibly from overseas, Russia even. But I'd say that any of the funding they got, they're just one of quite a few of these groups who have received the money from Russia. So there's definitely going to be some links there, some overseas links. So there's a lot that's not known about their formation and how they got built up to the size that they are. They have 2 main aims, is to create conflict and to continue the abuse of power, to continue enabling abuse of power, especially for men in positions, even though they're not an exclusive, they're not a white supremacist as such. They're not adverse to helping white supremacist groups to achieve their aim of, you know, putting men back in the dominant place that they should be in society, basically. They think women should be at home, cooking and cleaning and spreading their legs when they want them to, and having more little misogynistic twats. Twat, for those, it's a slang term for a certain area of female anatomy, but it is also a British term for a total dickhead, basically. So, yeah. Now, the best to come for them. Seven of Pentacles, reap what you sow. Reap what you sow. And the Hangman, changing perceptions, but also a pause in their activity. Pause in their activity. Reap what you sow. They're going to be hampered in some way, and that's the best that's coming for them. The worst that's coming for them, judgment and legal consequences. Legal consequences. They think that they're going to get away with what happened at the Capitol, but they're not. Judgment for actions they thought that they were immune from because Trump told them they would be. That Trump told them they'd be immune from the consequences of their actions, but Trump lied and they were wrong. So that's the worst that's coming at them. Now, Hierophant and Four of Cups. There's already a certain amount of apathy building within the organisation with some members that they've been drawn into a belief system which isn't really what they want. I think minority members especially are going to start realising that it's not so much them as minorities that were, they're not trying to boost that. They're just trying to use their numbers as cannon fodder. Their belief system is, and apathy is going to start building. And there's also going to be quite a large number who are going to realise that this is not really what they want. The belief system behind the Proud Boys is going to be coming into question by some, not all, but quite a decent number of them. Wow. So lots of legal questions and a lot of questioning of the belief system by some members and apathy within their ranks. Is that, are they going to lose members? Ten of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Okay, a lot of these members were manipulated into thinking that this is the legacy, that they were going to leave behind a legacy of family values. Family values, family first, father knows best type thing. They were manipulated into believing that. So I've just added a couple more cards here. Into this, indoctrinated into this belief system, and they start to realise, wake up and realise that it's not necessarily true. So, yeah, interesting. And yes, should they be put on terrorist lists? Absolutely. Do you remember? You shouldn't be allowed to travel to other countries. If you're a reform member, it's traveling and speaking out about these things, well, yeah, possibly. But, you know, as long as you didn't do anything bad while you were in there. Dave. Mind your rhetoric, Dave. I have to go through that next. Okay, so that's the Proud Boys. DeJoy. What is in what's gonna happen with DeJoy? What? We're pretty forgiving here, Melinda. If you said something a little bit, don't stress. Dave, behave. I don't know whether Dave says these outrageous things. Do you like being scolded, Dave? Scold Dave. I think he might like it. Everyone all together, right at the same time. Dave, behave. Dave, for those who might be watching the comment, he comes out with some pretty outrageous things at times. So you'll often hear me say, Dave, behave, because, yeah. Sometimes he does like being scolded sometimes. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sean. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. And how are you? Okay. Hi, Judy Malley. Now, we're looking at DeJoy. What is going to happen with Louis? Page of Wands. Chatterbox, messages. Thank you, Judy. You're a bit lonely here. Well, you're always welcome to come and join us online, Sean, and say hello. And there's a community here who's happy to embrace you. If he's put under the slightest bit of pressure, he will yep. And despite being put in the position he was put in, there's a lot of people who are like, don't really treat him with that much respect. I do the same with him as I did with the he yaks. He's a talker. That's his path. He talked his way into this position, but he is feeling very, thank you, Crazy Cat Lady Farley, but he is feeling a bit isolated at the moment. The best to come for him is he might get out of this unscathed. He might get out of this unscathed. The worst to come for him. Lots of conflict. But this could also be exposure. I'm doing a double line on this. So, Knight of Wands. Charming, superficial talker. That leads back to his ability to talk his way into a lot of things. He made a lot of money through his ability to talk people into doing things. Knight of Wands. So what's the second line going to show us? The Magician. He honestly thinks he can. He thought, I can do this and get away with it. Isolation. Four of Wands. So Four of Wands on top of the Hermit. Isolation. He never really felt part of the group. So home in like part of the group as on the post office board of directors or whatever he was put in charge of. Okay, the best to come for him. This is why I did a second line. The best to come for him. So this is not everything happening nice and happy and rain, sunshine, lollipops and rainbows. This is exposure and him being left out in the cold because of that exposure. Worst to come for him. Conflict, Knight of Cups, and an offer. So he created conflict within the post office. He was there to create conflict in the voting system, in the mail voting system. An offer is the best that he's going to get. Testifying we might not send you to jail for the rest of your life. Now, King of Wands, Knight of Wands, talking your way out. Eight of Cups. Yeah, he's not going to be able to talk his way out of things. Eight of Cups, he's going to have to accept. He's going to be forced out. His charm is not going to work. His ability to talk his way out of things is not going to work. And he is going to be forced out. So, no, not all sunshine, lollipops and rainbows for him. Will he go to jail? I think based on that he might escape jail, but only if he testifies against Trump as to why he was put in there, what his role was. But I'll have a quick check. Will DeJoy go to jail? He might still go to jail for a reduced sentence. That's it. Will DeJoy go to jail? Chariot, the momentum, that's a yes. Two of Cups, a deal. The Tower, yeah, big change for him. Two of Pentacles, manipulation, making a deal. Knight of Swords, investigation. Before, yeah, he might go to jail. He might get a reduced sentence. King of Cups, yeah, he might go to jail for his role in election interference in trying to interfere with a free and fair election. I think they've got a very strong case against him. Yeah, I think the negotiations partnership might be him doing a deal for a reduced sentence. He might get 4 years or something. Yeah, but they've got a very strong case against him, and it is going to be a new journey for him and some towering. So yes, there's a good chance he'll go to jail. He's not going to get it. I think the nomination was to do with the deal. He broke it, but he won't get it. Okay, what's next on the list here? What is going on? How much longer has Lindsey Graham got? This is just ridiculous. Hello to everyone who's watching, who's not on the chat. Hello, and hello to all my new subscribers. Thank you for joining me. I'm so appreciative of that. No, it's just I welcome, as long as you're not a troll. I welcome everyone who thank you, Laura, who opens himself up to come on this journey with me. It's been and continues to be, and hopefully will continue to be, an amazing journey for myself. Thank you, Laura, for the support. I do have a Facebook, and I know quite a lot of people have joined it. I don't keep it as much as I should. I've got to do at least a couple of times a week. I've got to be a bit firmer. I haven't worked on my website in ages either, so but I was just saying before, if you have a favorite, if you're on my Facebook stuff, if you have a favorite why don't you take a picture of it, and the back and the front and one of the cards, and post it. I think the city of Palm Beach is going to seize Mar-a-Lago. I read on that a while back. So Lindsey Graham, what's happening with Lindsey Graham? Guys, how much longer has Lindsey Graham got to go? Seven of Pentacles. This is the reap what you sow card. Assessment. Okay. The Devil, 15. He's in a lot of deep doo-doo. He's in a lot of deep doo-doo. Queen of Cups, Russia. Things are going to come out about him and Russia. It's not often I have the Queen of Cups for Russia, but it is here. I'm doing this 5-card thing again. So the past, he aligned himself with the devil. Things are going to come out now. This is the present with Russia. Consequences, my friend. The best that can happen is consequences. 3 of Wands. The worst that can happen. Here's the Sun again, and that's exposure. So I'll do another line. 2 of Wands. A collapse of his plans. Unable to make a decision. Tied himself to the devil for money. Tied himself to Trump and the devil for money. Exposure. 9 of Wands. He is really embattled at the moment. Things are going to come out about him and Trump. Best to come for him. 9 of Cups. Exposure. Wishes. That he gets to go out the way he wishes. That's the best. Quietly. Worst to come. Page of Pentacles. Again, exposure about money. Money that he took quite a long time ago when he was really quite down in the ranks. This is from a long time ago. Page of Swords. Disappointing news for him. I might do another one. So if he keeps going, he's in for disappointing news. In fact, someone's coming out and telling stuff coming out. Six of Cups. Yep, definitely. Way back in his past, even before them. He was tied in with Trump a lot longer than, even though he was like bashing him. Seven of Swords. Yep. Things he's gotten away with. It's all going to come out. The Star. The best he can hope for is that his hopes and wishes come true, and he can, that the consequences are just him having to leave quietly. The worst is Six of Wands, money, news coming out about how he won, how he kept winning. Let me see. Ace of Swords, the truth will come out. Yeah, I asked how long. Tarot's not very good with time. So what I might do is Kipper. I'll draw a few Kipper cards to see. I'm just going to go and grab a table because these are quite big, so I'm going to need more space. So. I'll be back in a minute. I've been meaning to set this up over here for a while now because I never seem to have enough space. These are all my some of my scarves. People who are new, I'm quite known for my scarves. I love the colours and everything, but they're also a great way to keep my hair is growing out, because haircuts are just too expensive and hard to get at the moment. Impossible to get at the moment. It's a great way to keep my hair back. But I also love the colours. And yes, I am chaotic. I had a candle here once called Embrace the Chaos, and it's definitely, as long-time viewers will tell you, me. If you go watch me, you've got to embrace a bit of chaos. So, and honestly, it can be a fun ride at times. So, anyway, I'm teaching myself watercolor painting too. So, I'll put that up there. Right. So, I've got this deck now. I've got a Kipper deck here. So, it's not the one I normally use. It's a larger one. So we're looking at Lindsey Graham. So it takes a couple of minutes to do a Kipper. Okay. So bear with me to feel the cards out. So we're talking about Lindsey Graham, so he is the main man. There he is. Now, yep. What? Bring that some of the cards. You see some of the cards. So you can see the cards here. Pushing them back a bit. Look. Oh. They're a bit slippy because there's no cover on this table at the moment. So they yeah. So this has got a few more cards in it than the other Kipper deck. So he's on the second, 4 in on the second line. So this is him. So what's going to apply is line 4, line 2, and then we move on from there if we need to. So above him is marriage. He's not married. Marriage in this case would be his commitment to the American people, okay? So below him is family room. Now that's interesting because the family room is actually the room, the card of. It's one of the two time cards, and it indicates a time period anywhere from 24 hours to 24 weeks. So 1 day to 6 months. It does not indicate years. Below that is ill health. So there could be something wrong with his health, bad health. And below that is community. So bad health, then the community. Now, across, the second line across, message of concern. So this is not good news. Bad news letter, okay? A change for him, gift. So there's definitely going to be something coming out about something he was given, possibly donations. The house in the Senate. So this, I'm going to cast the House as Congress, okay? Messages, mature woman, and courtship. Okay, mature. I think that mature woman is possibly someone like Rebecca Mercer and all that. Courtship. He was receiving money from the likes of Rebecca Mercer to advance their agendas. That's the courtship part of it. We're courting you. You know, we're wanting you to do this for us, and we're courting you with money and everything to do so. On the diagonals from him is a journey and a mature man and a pathway. He's coming to a crossroads. He has to make a choice and despair. So on the diagonals for him. So going for pathway, he has to make a choice. There's despair, there's imprisonment on the diagonal, and then there's great fortune. He might be lucky to avoid prison. The other diagonal, there's a journey, a mature man, sudden wealth, and a child. Child in this instance would indicate a new start, a new journey. I think he's got maybe at the most 6 months left. So I'll just bring the things back up. That's the Kipper from Kipper reading. I hope you didn't mind me taking the time to do that, but I thought it might be actually open up a bit of time. Kipper is one of the best systems if you want some idea of time. I'll leave it there for the moment to wrap up. Yeah, so that is that reading. Yes, so Lindsey Graham, 6 months at the most. I think he might be gone within 6 months. When he got back in, I didn't see him being in for very long. I even thought it might be within the first 3 months of the year. So, and we're still within that. So any time between now and 6 months, I think he might only be here for 6 months at the most. So, and I think he might avoid jail, but he's definitely going to be in a period of despair. He definitely was courted by other people, messages, being told, he received the messages being told what to do. Mature woman. Yeah. So, yeah, he's in a bit of trouble. Oh, look, the Proud Boys, as I said in that reading before, they were really using the minority people. It's overwhelmingly white. Yes, they do have some minority people in there, but because they're useful, the numbers are useful, and cannon fodder basically, and they're starting to wake up to that, I think. That doesn't mean they don't believe some of the things but they're getting apathetic to it because the belief system is not everything they thought it would be. Okay, what else have I got on the list here? Oh, Alexis Navalny, is he Russia's equivalent of Nelson Mandela? I actually didn't see him taking a role in the new I'm wrong there. I don't see him as the leader of the new democratic republic. That doesn't mean he won't, as a new, as a new democratic Russia or a new Russia. I don't see him as the leader. That doesn't mean he doesn't have a role there, but I don't see him being the leader. But is he the equivalent of Nelson Mandela for many Russians? Well, yes, I do think they see a parallel there. That went through my mind. I just got a flash. I was reading Wildheart comment. I have a feeling Mitch may vote for conviction. It would help the GOP. I think he is quietly behind the scenes working to get those 17 cents that are needed. Okay, this is interesting. This is the 10 of Swords, which saw him stabbed in the back and left shy in the end of the cycle. But it's interesting because it's reversed. He has risen again, and he survived that attempt, and he will survive more, and he will survive this imprisonment. Plans. He has plans for the future of Russia that are, when he was away recovering, he did speak to people and talk about his plans and shore up some help. There is still a dark time ahead for Russia, unfortunately. He is going to be in jail for several more years. This is the sun reversed. Groups talking. There are groups, and there are groups being rounded up, leaders of groups. There is going to be a big tower event in Russia, which is going to cold calculating. At this time, the courts are not on Navalny's side. If they were, he wouldn't have been sent to jail. So the courts aren't listening to him. That's the judges, the courts. People who've just joined and subscribed. The King of Swords is a prosecutor for me. The Queen of Swords is the judge because she calls people forth to answer for their actions. So the judges aren't on his side at the moment. There is definitely chaos coming. People are going to be charging in. There have been small attempts, and some of the ringleaders of the protest around Russia have been gathered up, and but it's sort of like the Hydra with this movement. You gather up one set of you gather up the leader of one set, two more pop up. This terror event in Russia is just getting away with something. Theft. He is, I can tell you now, he is regarded as a Nelson Mandela-like figure. He hasn't spent nearly as much time in jail as Nelson Mandela has, but he is inspiring in the Russian people the same sort of belief and hope that Mandela did in the African people, in the South African people. Yes, they do look at him as an example of what Mandela was, a figure from the past, and they hope that he can achieve what Mandela achieved. There's definitely more conflict coming. The conflict is not going to stop between protesters and stuff. Oh, there's definitely something. Russia's got something coming that is definitely going to cause heartbreak and loss. I wish I could say that that's not going to be the case, but there is definitely something. Whether it's something planned. See, at the top of this line, there's the Two of Wands, which is a card of planning and strategy, and the Seven is a card of strategy as well. The movement has a lot of support among the people, but it has not got the support it needs yet among the judiciary and the hierarchy. They're still setting their ways backwards, supporting Putin. But this conflict, this energy, it's going to lead to the unseating of a king. And it's also going to lead to economic trouble and instability. Yeah, standing ground. Russia will be able to survive against whatever this traumatic thing is coming. It will be able to stand its ground, and new boundaries will be set because of it. But they're still in for a period of blind justice, of the judiciary is a large part of why this movement hasn't been. So you're still in for a dark until the judiciary can be swayed to act with fairness and not out of fear. There's still going to be dark times. So Russia will eventually come out of this a better place with better leaders. Whether Navalny will be the leader, I don't know. I actually, in the reading I did several weeks back now, I actually saw a woman emerging as a new leader for Russia. But could even be his wife. His wife was detained for a while and then released. So how about we look at Alexei Navalny's wife? What is happening with her? Alexei Navalny's wife. I'm not going to get up and move the camera back. Awesome. She's got the waterfall in the background here. I was immediately drawn to the cup. Waterfall. A waterfall is very cleansing. It crashes to the bottom and a lot of stuff is thrown out. She is viewed by many as a knight, as someone who can offer a new future as well. What are her challenges? Her challenges, of course, is the corruption and the unfairness of the current regime. And it is a regime. It's not a government, it's a regime. At the base of it, she is a very, very smart, very intelligent thinking. She refuses to be caught up in the belief system that a lot of Russians had for so long had trampled into them, that there's no escaping Putin and Putin-like reign, that when Putin goes, he's going to be replaced with a clone, that sort of thing. She thinks outside of the box. She refuses to be caught up in that belief system. Whitby, everyone says hello. Oh, she is a charm. She is a very charming woman, and she is full of energy, and she is there to defend her husband as well, and to defend his beliefs, and she believes it 100% herself. Everything is around her that she needs, but everything was around her that she needs, but the distraction with the riots and with her husband, it's sort of like the government is trying to deprive her of the tools she needs to continue her husband's fight and to, you know, really step up as a possible leader. What's on the bottom for her? Obstacles coming out of the darkness and into the light, and but she's still for a while going to still be in the shadows. Family is very important to this woman, and she's seen her family torn apart, and more of that's going to happen. Okay, she's seen other families torn apart, and that's going to happen, and she's going to see more and more of that as the protests continue, because they're not going to stop, and it does break her heart. She is not prepared. This is in her environment. This is delusion. She is fighting against the delusion that the government is trying to put out there, that her husband's a criminal, that her husband's this, her husband's that, when he's not. Uncover the news. I will look at that next. Will indictments for Trump come before or after the impeachment hearing? I'll look at that next. Navalny's wife, what do people see? They see someone who could be a star, a guiding light, but they also fear that there's going to be attempts to take her out as well. There's a great fear of that. If they see someone they fear for, but they see as a guiding light. The hopes and fears here. I'm going to do that two-card thing. The hope is that she's at a start of a new journey here, and the hope is that she's not going to be stopped from this journey completely. The fear is that she's going to be separated from her husband and her people and their followers in a permanent way. They really do fear for her life. She's in more danger, I think, than Alexei is. What are the outcomes for her? She's having a bit of trouble balancing things, finding this new balance. She's being, when they detained her, when they took her the other day, that's put her into a spotlight even more so. Hello, Sally Mount. Oh, she definitely has something ahead that is not good. Now, this is interesting because this came up with the reading I was doing about how her husband is sued. So that's going to come up too. And again, the reverse sun. Time of depression and stuff. And again, the court's not on her side. So at the moment, her future is not looking the best. She is in quite a bit of danger, and she is probably going to have to, this could also be having to retreat out of the light and into the background, into the shadows, which matches the moon on the bottom, working in the shadows, retreating from, hiding from the light for a while. I think she's going to have to go and retreat. That Russia thing, it's something, that tower is something I feel is going to impact the country as a whole. Geez, I hope nothing happens to Alexei Navalny. That would be a big tower thing, but I think it's even something more. GOP, as it is currently, want to take rights away, not just from women, but from anyone who is not male and white, despite there being some representatives. If they didn't need the likes of Marco Rubio and Rick DeSantis down in Florida to get the white vote, do you think there'd really be a place for them? You know? Are there going to be indictments? Are indictments going to be handed down for Trump before or after? When are there going to be indictments? I'm going to say, when are there going to be indictments handed down for Trump? Okay. Lines at the highest truth and compassion. When will indictments be handed down for Trump? And there will be indictments handed down for him. An abundance of indictments going to be handed down. They're still waiting for clarification on some things. So not quite yet. It's not going to happen before the. Not going to happen before the impeachment. There are some things they're keeping close to their chest. There is going to be some celebration. So they are coming. This is a 4 too. This could be in 4 weeks. 4 months, 4 weeks, 4 months. Oh, there's going to be indictments on theft. Money laundering, deals, brokering deals, money laundering. gaslighting. These could be indictments associated with, like, you know, the Washington DC Attorney General going, we're going for him, you know. So that could be the gaslighting and incitement. So there's 3 major arcana. So that in time is a little bit further away. So 4 weeks to 4 months maybe. The cards, the Lovers cards, to deal with deals that he's made, of course. Oh, definitely something to do with Russia in there. So if we were to take this as 4 weeks and then add up the, I'm going to try something here with the major arcana. 3, 9, 18, 27. 2 plus 7 is 9. Next 4 to 9 weeks. So between a month and 2.5 months. One and a half months, 4, 9. 2 months is 4. Yeah, so the next month to 2 months. Yeah. So the next 4 to 9 weeks, I think indictments will start coming down. We'll see if I'm right. Okay, guys, it's just come up on 2 hours. So what I'll do is I will ask Spirit if they have a message for it. If there's a message, any message from Spirit. I might use the teacup cards again that I used the other day. If you haven't seen teacup cards, check out Tea with Karen. She uses this system of teacup and tea reading, and she uses charms, cards like this. I've got a great little system that she had that I'm going to use a bit more and look at some things. Yeah. So, Spirit, what messages do you have for us today? These are great little cards for learning the system because they have keywords on them. I'm definitely going to be looking at a few reps. Jim Jordan, Matt Gates. I'll be looking at them soon. Oh, those who haven't watched me before, a couple of weeks ago I did a pet special. Well, I just did readings on people's pets. I've still got a whole list of questions from the last one I did. So I'm aiming to do another one in the next few days, maybe possibly tomorrow night. Yeah, I think I'll do it tomorrow night my time, and I'll schedule it and put it up. And it's just going to be about your pet. There's still so many questions from the last one to get through. But if you have a pet and you love them and you want to have a bit of fun, definitely. And then towards the end of it, I can take questions on new pet questions about people's pets, because it's something I'm going to be doing every couple of weeks for a while. So what advice does Spirit have? Perseverance ensures success and endurance. Now these 2 cards are away from each other. And another card. Okay, so this is interesting. So it looks like we've got 1 card that's pointing towards the past and 2 cards that's pointing towards the future. Okay, because they have arrows on them. Okay, the past card is Camel. You've really needed a lot of perseverance to get through. The whole world has to get through the last year, and for some people even longer than that. You've succeeded in that. You have felt a really heavy burden, and you have felt like you've been on a long and difficult journey. But that journey is coming to an end. That journey is in the past. That need for the endurance, that need for perseverance. Okay? Towards the future, we've got, so that's the camel card. Okay? Towards the future, we've got the balloon card. Positives here are celebrations, promotion, uplifting. Now, negatives are losing control, time to let go, and pressure. Okay, so if you've been hanging on to that pressure, it's time to release it, but in a good, healthy way. Celebrate, you know, hold a celebration of some kind. Even if you can't get a lot of people around you, find things to celebrate. Find things that lift you up. It could be watching your little pets. It could be watching some funny videos. It could be anything that you find that lifts you up. I know it's difficult for people to get out and join others at the moment. Night Wild Heart. Find ways to lift your mood, because you are that long, arduous journey is ending and there's a new journey beginning. It doesn't mean it's going to be smooth sailing all the way. One of the things with balloons is often once they're up in the air, hot air balloons, they're quite often at the mercy of fate, at the mercy of the winds. So, you know, it's not always sure which way this journey is going to go, but it's a journey in a different direction. Okay? And it's time to let go of some of that pressure that's built up, but do it in a healthy way. Not through anger, not through destructiveness. Do it through laughter, through joy. Hop on Skype. If you don't have Skype or Zoom, load it and encourage your family members to load it. And the other thing is angel. Angel is protection from a higher power, religious beliefs, divine guidance. There are no negatives with the angel. No negatives with the angel. So just trust in whatever belief system you use, in whatever higher power you look to. Trust that things are turning around and that this journey is going to be lighter as time goes on, and that things will work out. So have some trust and don't hang on so tightly to the negatives from the past few years. Have some trust that things are moving on and that things will happen. But you're not always going to have, and because you're not always going to have control into which way this balloon goes, have trust that it's going the way it needs to. Okay, everyone, thank you for joining me. Absolutely love you all. Stay safe, stay strong, stay loving. And I will see you tomorrow night for another pet special. So if you want to join me for that, please do. I've already got a lot of questions lined up, but I will take time towards the end or during the thing to take down requests about your pets, but they might have to wait for another while. Okay? So love you all. Bye-bye.